A good afternoon / evening. It'll be evening before all is said and done. From District 20 Stadium, Matt Pauley, Brian German, as we are getting set to bring you Pine Creek Rampart soccer tonight from District 20 Stadium, and we are certainly looking forward to a good contest tonight, and a contest that definitely has a big meaning, especially for Pine Creek going in, but for Rampart as well, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in just a moment. But before we go any further, we, of course, do want to let you know that if you'd like to order a DVD copy of this broadcast, just $10 gets you one, and you can do that by emailing us, 20tv@asd20.org, or you can give us a call at 719-234-1780. Let's start taking a look at what's going to be going on tonight. And, Brian, we said that this is a big match tonight. It's especially big for Pine Creek that comes in at 3-0-1 on the season. If they win tonight, the 5A Metro Conference is theirs.
That's right. They need a victory, though. If they don't get the victory, there's still possibilities for Liberty and Doherty in there. But mathematically, no one else can win if the Eagles get the win today.
The only team that has done anything other than lose to Pine Creek is, as far as league play goes, is Palmer that tied them earlier this year. And we'll talk a little bit more about what went down that evening as we go along tonight. But as far as what we expect tonight, you see that Pine Creek comes in with an 11-1-2 record, while Rampart is at 7-6 on the season. The goals scored definitely favor Rampart, but Pine Creek doesn't have to score a lot of goals, and you see how few goals that they give up per contest. That's their bread and butter for Pine Creek.
And Rampart scored a lot of those goals in 3 of the games this year when they put up 10 or more goals 3 times this season. So maybe that's a little bit misleading there. But Rampart does score more goals. Pine Creek's strength, obviously, they don't give up any goals. 11 shutouts this year.
Let's take a look at some of the individuals that are going to be taking part in this contest this evening, and we'll start with Rampart, and they are led in scoring by Brandon Rich. He comes in 15 goals on the year. His teammate Evan Birchie, 10 goals on the year, and we'll talk more about those folks as we go along tonight. Also, Shane Park, their goalkeeper, is he's done a pretty good job this year, allowing less than 3 goals per contest. As far as what they have done recently, it hasn't been easy going for them lately. They have lost 4 of their last 5. They had a 3-0 win at Fountain Fort Carson 2 games ago, but they're coming off a 5-1 loss to Liberty. They also had losses to Palmer and Doherty prior to that, so Rampart is buried a little bit in those standings right now as we continue to move towards the postseason. As far as what they need to do tonight to possibly knock off this Pine Creek team, as told to us by Rampart coach Carl Anderson, discipline on defense. They got to make sure that they don't give anything easy to Pine Creek. The effective transitions as they move from the defensive part of the field to the offensive part of the field. And, Brian, the outwork Pine Creek, that's going to be a tough thing to do.
Yeah, and Pine Creek, we've seen them before on 20 TV, that they work extremely well, especially defensively in the defensive zone. These guys just hanker down and don't let many people get shots on them. Rampart, a team that gets lots of shots, so it's going to be an interesting matchup.
As far as Pine Creek goes, we'll take a look at their roster, and it does all start and finish with their goaltender, and David Meyer, who is just absolutely incredible this year. It means a lot when you're able to get a goal past him. They've got a lot of even scoring. Nick Bannister, Nick Farley, amongst the folks that can certainly go out there and score some goals. Michael Steffi involved there as well. As far as what Pine Creek has done as of late, you can see they've not lost since their first match of the year. Actually, there's 2 losses on the year, but they haven't lost a lot this year, and they're coming off a nice 1-0 win against Air Academy, and they do have just the 1 loss in the year back on August 30th against Denver East. Since then, they have gone 11-0-2 wow. Since August 30th, so since the start of September. Has been absolutely spectacular the way they have been able to play this season. And their keys to the game, as told to us by their coach Ben Corley, they got to get around the outside. They got to break down the Rampart flanks, finish inside the penalty box, meaning they got to be patient as they move towards the goal. And then we see that word discipline again. That's obviously key for both teams.
Pine Creek, one of the most disciplined teams you're going to see in high school soccer in Colorado. They do a great job defensively. This is going to be a good matchup, though. I'm curious to see if Brendan Rich will get a lot of shots on goal for Rampart and see what happens. Maybe David Meyer will be tested in this game.
We're excited for this one. We've got it next here on 20 TV. Welcome back into District 20 Stadium as we are just a few moments away from Rampart playing host to Pine Creek. And we've got all the action for you right here on 20 TV. Once again, from a record standpoint, Pine Creek comes in 11-1-2 overall. They're 3-0-1 in 5A Colorado Springs Metro League play. Ben Corley is their head coach. For Rampart, they come in 7-6 overall, 1-3 in league play, and they are coached by Carl Anderson. Brian, this is a big opportunity for Rampart to possibly knock Pine Creek out of a spot to take home the title and make it their own.
Yep, that's the way you got to look at it. If you're the Rams right now, if you heard the players down there getting a little crazy, that was Pine Creek. They're fired up for this. This means the Metro title if they can win this game. And like you said, Rampart, you can hang your hat on a win like this. This can make your whole season if you're the Rampart Rams.
Fall has officially arrived here in Colorado Springs. The weather has a bit of a bite to it. It's a little bit chilly out there. We see the folks on the bench putting on jackets to try to stay warm. And this is the kind of
photographers with jackets on, too.
That's true. That is very true. This is what it's going to be like as you play in the postseason in the state of Colorado.
Yep. You got to get ready for this cooler air, and there's a lot of wind. We'll have to see if the wind's a factor. The wind is blowing into the Pine Creek Eagles' faces right now as they win the kickoff.
2 40-minute halves as we are officially underway. And with it to get started, Rampart had in their offensive zone, but Pine Creek is going to pick it up, and they'll give it back over to Rampart as they will move into their offensive zone.
Be interesting to see. Rampart comes in with a lot of goals, as I mentioned, though, but in 3 games got 30 of those goals, 30 of their 48. But, they tend to be a more high-tempo offensive team. Pine Creek more of a defensive team.
So Pine Creek has it near midfield as they try to bring it down for Pine Creek. This is Jack Reynolds. Reynolds forces it ahead, and Rampart has a beat on it. It's going to just go out of bounds. I believe Rampart touched that last, so Pine Creek's going to be sending it in from the sideline pretty deep into their offensive zone. For Pine Creek, this is Nick Bannister to get it back over to Jack Reynolds. Reynolds didn't really have a lot going for him from a statistical perspective before we saw him against Liberty, scored a couple goals, and now all of a sudden Reynolds is somebody that definitely is a big part of the offensive game plan.
They definitely have him in there trying to get the ball to Nick Bannister here, who's coming down the left wing.
Bannister on the left side. They double down on a great pass right up the middle, and that's a goal for Michael Steffi.
Let's check that out again. That was a great job by Nick Bannister. As I said, they were trying to get the ball to him down on the left flank there. He finally got it and ran straight to the goal line, sent it across. And was it Steffi or was it?
I thought it was Steffi.
Or was it Hafner that got it?
Well,
I think it was Hafner that got that
Hafner got
goal.
it, so I beg your pardon. Thought that was Steffi.
It's okay. Aaron Hafner gets the goal. It's Pine Creek 1-0. That quick.
So Hafner gets the goal, and it's 1-0 in favor of Pine Creek. Rampart's got it after the goal, and it comes back out of bounds. It's on the side of the field that we are on, and it'll be sent in by Pine Creek, and this is Sean Cleary to send it in. Close to midfield, over to his teammate Nico Farley. Farley backs it up. We're just about 2 minutes into this contest, and Pine Creek has the early 1-0 lead, and for Pine Creek as the pass comes left side to Bannister. Bannister's going to back it back out. When you're Pine Creek and you've got your goalie as they go move towards the goal and try to head it out, and it is offside, so they're going to move it back. But when you're Pine Creek and you've got David Meyer, a 1-0 lead this early on, you're in pretty good place.
It's huge. It's huge. He has 11 shutouts on the season. So you get a 1-goal lead. You got to feel really confident, but I don't see Pine Creek backing down at all. I think they really want it. This would be goal number 1 for them. The start of all their goals for the season would be to win the Colorado Springs Metro, and I don't see them pulling back at all.
Put back into action by Reed Bartles, and Pine Creek had it for a moment. It is fought for near midfield, pushed ahead, and now it's going to come back down, and Pine Creek's going to try to control. In fact, they're just going to give it off to Meyer. Meyer kicks it ahead. Comes back to Rampart. So Rampart with a little bit of extended time in their offensive zone, yet really haven't gotten a scoring opportunity. You'd like to see Rampart be able to maybe make some noise early and answer that goal if we're going to have a good contest this afternoon. Rampart will switch side as Bartles sends it over on the left side, and Pine Creek is able to steal that away as that's Sam Stark, and Stark will move it ahead. Now sent all the way down, deflected away by Rampart's Reed Bartles, he's been just about everywhere now. We've called his name a number of times defensively trying to stop the Pine Creek attack. Rampart's got it.
Here comes Brendan Rich. That's the guy you want with the ball on his foot. He is quick, and he can maneuver through there.
He's a junior. He leads the team in goals. He puts it forward. It's deflected away, and it comes all the way back to midfield. But Rampart is able to keep control of it. They're going to move it far left side, and this time Pine Creek is there to push it back in the other direction for Pine Creek. Moving it forward, this is Jack Reynolds. Reynolds looks left side, and then we're going to see this a lot as Nick Bannister. They try to get everything through Nick Bannister. Bannister loses it for a moment, tries to come around to get it again, but Rampart's able to kick it away. Now they keep it in bounds. So Rampart saves, and this is Matt Pfister with it, moves it forward. Pine Creek comes up with it once again, trying to control on the left side. Bannister's open on the left side. We'll see if he takes the pass. He does, but it's just a little bit out in front of him, and they're going to give it back over to Rampart after it goes out of bounds.
You know what I'm glad to see, Matt, is that Rampart isn't packing it in like Palmer did against Pine Creek. That's the way that team was able to tie Pine Creek 0-0. They basically just concentrated on playing defense the whole game, didn't even worry about the offense.
Put ahead for Bannister and deflected away, but Pine Creek another opportunity, and that time it was Michael Steffi who put it a little bit far right.
He wanted the corner kick. He thought that was touched by a Rampart player. The ump disagrees with him there, so Rampart gets the ball for the goal kick.
Should be noted, this is the third soccer match we've done out here at 20 TV this year, and the home team determines which side of the field the benches are going to be on. And the benches today are on the same side of the field as us, which is a little bit of a surprise because it is somewhat chilly, and that far side stays in the sun a little bit longer.
Interesting call by Rampart.
Yeah.
Are they the home team?
Yes, they are.
Okay, thanks.
34 minutes and 30 seconds left in this first half. It's a 1-0 game in favor of Pine Creek. Pass stolen away on the left side. It's brought up by Sean Cleary. Cleary passes away. Now that's Reynolds who kicked it, or at least got his foot on it and didn't really get a whole lot on it, but Pine Creek is still able to control. At the top, moving it towards the right side, that's Nico Farley. Farley backs it over to Zach Peterschmidt. Peterschmidt passes to the left side. Now right over to the sideline and Sean Cleary. Rampart's doing something right now to not allow Pine Creek to really get into their offensive zone. And now they're just moving it forward off the foot of Jack Reynolds. Deflected away. Pine Creek still has it. They work left side. Now they come back, intended for Steffi, and it's going to go out of bounds on the inline.
Good job by Travis Free there getting back and just kind of felt probably a little bit out of position, but just kick the ball out and give him a shot from the corner and give yourself a defense a chance to set back up.
So first corner of the day. Cleary to get it started. Puts it right in front of the goal. Cannot go off ahead. The ball is loose. Pine Creek still has it. Put on net and a good save. That was Jack Reynolds, who performs well on the 20 TV airwaves.
Wow.
And it was just a little bit wide right.
He had a couple of goals against Liberty when we had him on earlier this year, and that one went just right. And I believe goaltender got a piece of it, so we're going to go corner kick again.
And Shane Park did just deflect it away. So another corner kick. The last one did result in a scoring opportunity. We'll see what happens here. Trying to kick over the head. It's right at the goal, and it is in for a goal.
Was that a cartwheel kick?
It was indeed a cartwheel kick. And if I'm correct, I believe that's Aaron Hafner with another goal. Let's check the replay.
Ooh. Nope.
Yeah, indeed it is.
Yep, I think Hafner got it with the head. Hafner.
So Hafner, 2 goals.
There's a good shot of it there. Goes off the top crossbar, down and across the goal line. 2-0 Pine Creek. If you're Rampart right now, you gotta worry a little bit. You need to get this thing in your offensive end. Get some chances to attack.
And Pine Creek with it once again. You know, the scary thing if you're Rampart, you go in as Pine Creek has it and it's fought for at midfield. We were talking earlier about that Palmer matchup, and what Palmer did to be able to tie was they just packed it in. And that means there's at least a thought amongst soccer coaches in the community that Pine Creek is borderline unbeatable as they send the ball down the field, and Meyer's going to get it away. And the only way you can do anything is to pack it in and maybe try to get lucky. Well, now Rampart in this game, not that they should have packed it in, which I'm glad they're not, but they're in a position now where they may have to gamble a little bit offensively, and that's just going to open up that much more for Pine Creek.
Yeah, it certainly is. The team I thought had a proper strategy was maybe Air Academy. The Cadets did a good job against Pine Creek. I know they eventually lost 1-0, but Dave Meyer had to make a couple of huge saves in that game in order to save it. But then again, that's where you go, how good is David Meyer? Because they play such good defense. Well, he made 2 great saves in that game to get yet another shutout on the season. So, I mean, I'd like to see David Meyer get tested, but the ball hasn't even gotten down there.
No, it hasn't, and this is the extent of what he's had to do today as he kicks it back into play. I think, and we talked about this a little bit the last time we saw Pine Creek, sometimes that makes it tougher for a goalie. You know, the fact that Meyer can come up with those big saves even when not being tested is probably more impressive than somebody who's being tested all the time.
Yep.
Pine Creek's got it this time. They'll work the right side, sending it ahead. It's deflected away, but Pine Creek is able to continue to control. This is Alex Cullen on the wing. Cullen sends it forward. Rampart kicks it back out, but it's still in front of the net, and now it's going to be sent back towards midfield. Rampart has it for a moment. We'll see if they can get something going offensively. Controlled at midfield for Rampart. That is Brandon Rich, who had it for a moment, but then it goes back out of bounds.
Brandon Rich getting a little frustrated already. I think probably being down 2-0, he hasn't had too many opportunities to show his speed and his agility with the ball.
They just tried to throw it in. I think they basically threw it back out of bounds.
Yeah.
So that's where some frustration can come out, and you see maybe a lack of concentration. Rampart does have it. If Rampart can score 1 goal, it changes everything. A 2-0 game and a 2-1 game feel completely different, but here's Pine Creek working the left side, and Nick Bannister. Bannister tries to get around the defender, Luke Parker, unable to do so, and for Rampart, this is Kyle Creepo bringing it down. Creepo sends it ahead, and how is he not offsides? Sending it forward, and nice a goal.
Play.
There's the big
That's
goal
Brendan
for
Rich.
Rampart. Brandon Rich, the junior, scores, and it's a 2-1 game.
And a tough setback possibly for Pine Creek here. Nick Bannister is going down on the ground. He's holding his right ankle. He is in pain, but what a great play there. I told you, Brendan Rich was going to be a guy to watch. His speed, I think it's hard to practice against speed if you don't see it, if you don't have players that can emulate that in practice. Brendan showed his speed in that, just ran right by the Eagles and got the goal. But now Nick Bannister's coming off, being helped off sportsmanlike by Travis Free of the Rampart Rams. That's not going to be good. Nick Bannister is a key part of this Pine Creek team.
He really is. It is a cool moment, though, to see a Rampart player help him off the field. That's what it's all about here in District 20.
I love District 20 teams.
So 2-1. After the goal was scored, Rampart's got it again.
Oh, they had Free running again. Or, excuse me, Rich running again. This is Free.
From the right side, Rampart tries to get something going and unable to do so. It was Samir Raguzzi who was unable to get around the defender, but it was pushed out of bounds, and Rampart's going to keep it. You can tell the momentum, just with that one single goal, all the momentum goes back with Rampart.
Well, and I think Pine Creek comes into every game probably just expecting it a shutout. You've got 11 shutouts in 14 games. You know, you just expect it. But now it's a 2-1 game, and I think Rampart's right back in this thing, especially with the ball in their offensive zone.
Connor Ott sent it in. Pine Creek deflects it away, and it's fought for right at the sideline. And for Pine Creek, ball comes back out of bounds. Ball sent down. Pine Creek is having a hard time getting it back into their offensive zone. It's sent down towards the goal. They're able to save it. And now it's going to come out of bounds in a bit of a collision. And it's for Pine Creek. Another player goes down. This time it's Ryan Depney.
Depney kind of took a tumble on that one.
And Connor Ott goes down for Rampart.
It's going to be a free kick from that area there. Connor Ott going to take it. Another substitution for Pine Creek.
Yeah, I think the official made this call and said you have to go off the field. So that's 2 major players, and we still see Bannister down on the sideline.
Brad
in a lot of
McDonald
pain.
comes in for Pine Creek. Yeah, Bannister, I'm not sure exactly what he did. It happened at the other end of the field as Rich was running in for the goal.
Ott sends in the free kick, didn't get a whole lot on it, and Pine Creek's able to send it back down towards midfield. Pine Creek trying to control it. This is McDonald with it. McDonald will back it up. Now they move it forward.
Look at Rich. I'm telling you, he is so quick. He could just jump on that ball.
He sends it ahead forward, and a shot on goal, and there to make the save is Meyer.
That's the David Meyer you're used to seeing. When teams get a chance, he just smothers that ball inside there.
Pine Creek looks to move it ahead. A bit of a collision now back to the left side of McDonald. McDonald will try to get around the defender Parker. He deflects it away, and now it goes off the foot of Samir Raguzzi. And
I tell you, Luke Parker doing a good job defensively for the Rams down there, as is this young man, Travis Free.
Comes back out, and for Pine Creek, it's Sean Cleary. Cleary trying to get free. Moves it ahead forward. Rampart moves it towards midfield. Pine Creek gets it again. A lot of this game is being played around midfield as the 2 teams try to fight into their offensive zone, and Pine Creek's just going to back it up all the way and try the right side now. So they reverse sides. Now they send it forward. Intended for Jack Reynolds. Reynolds has it. Now he goes left side. This is McDonald. McDonald had the angle, but he's slide tackled, and that's going to bring the ball back out. But Pine Creek back with a little bit of momentum. It's Reynolds once again on the left side. He tries to get around defender. He creates a little bit of space. Now he kicks it back out over to Michael Steffi. Steffi has it. Steffi's going to back it up to Sean Cleary. Cleary sends it over to Reynolds. A little bit of a triangle with those 3 right now. McDonald's just hanging out on the left sideline. Now he gets it. McDonald moving towards the goal. He has double-teamed a collision as he is hit by 2. The ball is still down. And
I think McDonald may have taken a foot in the head there.
Yeah, he tried to stand up, and
ouch,
he went right back down. And both Rampart players that are down in the area help him up. There's been a
physical game.
Yeah.
Really has. And Nick Bannister, if you're wondering, watching at home, you don't see him. He's on the sidelines. He has ice on his right ankle. Doesn't look good for him to come back into this game. As far as Depine, though, it looks like he's up and he's walking. He's probably going to be able to come back in.
Rampart puts it back into play all the way down the field, or past midfield at least, and they still control it offensively. We just saw Matt Pfister really try and move, and he put 1 extra movement on that move and almost tripped himself. For Pine Creek, Aaron Hafner on the right side. Now sent right in front of the goal. Reynolds comes up. Reynolds puts his foot into it.
That was wide of the goalpost too.
Yeah.
I think it was a nice and high kick. I tell you, Reynolds is quick as well. But I'm really impressed with Brendan Rich today of Rampart. He is so quick to the ball.
When this wind blowing the way it's blowing right now, you can't put too much elevation on those shots. Got to keep it close to the ground if you want the ball to go where you want it to go. Pine Creek has it in their offensive zone. Coming down very quickly now. Centering pass, and it's Hafner again. I thought it was a pass. He just put it on goal. Aaron Hafner, his 3rd goal. It's a hat trick in the first half.
That's amazing.
Oh,
Hafner
my
just
gosh.
comes right down the right flank and pushes it past Park in the goal. Here it is from the goal line view. What a great job. What a great game Hafner's having. Pine Creek loving this, up 3-0. But it's tough with Bannister. When you lose Bannister to a penalty, it's 3-1.
Hafner came in with 1 goal on the year.
Yeah, now
he has 3 in basically 15 minutes of play.
Pretty amazing. 4 goals, 2 assists on the season for Hafner now.
3-1 in favor of Pine Creek, and they get back out to that 2-goal lead, and they once again have the momentum going for them. And you can just see that they're playing with that, the extra skip in the step, so to speak, at this moment. They didn't have that immediately following the Rampart goal. They're going to send it down the left side. That's for McDonald. McDonald's not able to get to it as it's deflected away by Matt Pfister. Now stolen in the middle. Over on the left side for Pine Creek, trying to get around the corner. This is Alex Cullen. Cullen right on the end line. Now centering pass. It's deflected away by Rampart, and the Rams have it once again, moving it forward. Sent down towards midfield. Rampart deflected it away and basically gave it back, and saw Brendan Rich just get frustrated with himself.
Another Pine Creek player down.
Right on the sideline, trying to check who that is. It's McDonald. So McDonald, who came in due to an injury, now McDonald is down, but it looks like he's going to be all right, and he's going
to have to come out, though. Well, no, the officials talking to Ben Corley there. They're going to let him stay on the field. You know what's amazing about Aaron Hafner? He didn't know if he was going to start this game.
No.
He had an issue in the Air Academy game, had to come out, and they were worried about his health. He looks pretty darn healthy today with 3 goals.
That's you don't see 3-goal games
very often,
especially in the first half, and what's going to end up being a relatively low-scoring game.
I would not be surprised if this thing ends 3-1.
Yeah. 23 minutes and 40 seconds left here in this first half. It's 3-1 in favor of Pine Creek. Pine Creek's got it, and now they're in a position now where they can be very patient and work with it in their own end and just try to get Rampart to try to make a mistake and try to take advantage of those mistakes. It's pushed ahead towards midfield. This is McDonald just barely staying in bounds. Back over to Reynolds. Reynolds has it.
Reynolds knows he's on 20 TV. The way he's moving the ball, he just has a jump in his step. He's looking good. As we mentioned, he had 2 goals the last time he was on 20 TV. Now Hafner's going to be a big 20 TV fan.
The Hafner family is out there watching, and if they want to be able to relive this, DVDs.
It's worth $10, I think.
We'll give you that information coming up later on and what you have to do to purchase a DVD.
It's not hard, though, folks.
No.
It's real easy.
Open up the email.
Something Matt Pauly could do.
20tv@asd20.org. Just email us. Or if you'd rather make a call, 719-234-1780. That's all it takes. And Brian German will personally deliver the DVD to your home, assuming you live
the Hafners
within Colorado Springs. 22 minutes, 20 seconds to go. It's a 3-1 game. Pine Creek leads. Pine Creek has it at midfield. They move it ahead. Here's Reynolds again. Reynolds, he's one of those guys that always looks like he has something on his mind. He's always got a plan. Now they're going to try the right side.
Quick feet, too. He's good with the ball.
Sent ahead towards Steffi, but it's deflected away. Now comes back to midfield. Pine Creek had it for a moment. It's kicked out of bounds by Rampart's Mario Mandel. And Pine Creek will have it. They back it up. Back over to Reynolds. He has it. He loses it. Rampart gets it, and they'll push it down the field. That is sent forward. Pine Creek, very good at looking like they're in control of things. Steffi has it. Steffi looks to pass over to Reynolds. Reynolds is going to back up. Now he's going to send it over the right side, and the wind caught it and changed things up a bit, and that's where you can see the wind have a bit of an impact. But now here's Hafner again. He's going to center it for Steffi. Steffi can't get the shot off as a couple players end up going down. The Pine Creek faithful were looking for a whistle. They did not get it, but the ball is going to come back out of bounds at midfield after a good attempt by Matt Pfister to save it.
Good job by Travis Free defensively there to stop Steffi, and even Steffi acknowledges it. Gives him a little handshake there.
Sent ahead. It was for McDonald, but easily picked up by Luke Parker of Rampart, sent ahead, and we'll see who can get it. Pine Creek has it again. It's been a long time since Rampart has had it in their offensive zone.
But we've seen they can score fast if they can get it on the feet of Brendan Rich, who's basically down here waiting for something to happen. He can take it.
Ball's at midfield, now a whistle. And they're going to give it back over to Rampart.
Now let's see if they can do something here. 20 minutes left in the half.
So the halfway point of the first half?
You can say that.
That's what I tend to say.
Yep.
3-1 our score in favor of the Pine Creek Eagles. Technically, Pine Creek is the visiting team today, but this facility is both teams' home, so it doesn't really feel like a visiting game for either team.
So now offsides there. Brad McDonald disagrees with the call a little bit.
McDonald getting extended playing time right now because Nick Bannister continues to be looked at on the side. And if anything else, they just need to make sure that Nick Bannister is good to go once they hit the postseason.
That's right. That's what's been really interesting, too. It's usually Nick Bannister and who did actually force that first goal for Pine Creek, get it down in there and get Hafner the ball to score. But just recently, Ben Corley has moved Hafner up to the front on the right flank. And what a great move. He's got 3 goals today. That could bode well for them in the playoffs because you don't want to be like a one-sided team, which I think Ben Corley might have been a little bit worried that he was becoming.
Continues to be a 3-1 game. Aaron Hafner with all 3 goals today for the Pine Creek Eagles, who are looking for their 12th win of the year and a 5A Metro League title. Ball goes out of bounds on the far side, and they're continuing to work on Nick Bannister, almost like with the idea that they'd like to get him back into this game.
Yeah, he's up and walking now. Be interesting to see. Having not seen what happened to him on the play, and it was well away from the ball, I'm not sure if he just twisted it himself or if he got caught up with another player.
A substitution now for Rampart, as we will see Kevin Benitez come in. Benitez, excuse me. 3-1. Rampart has it. Sent forward. Pine Creek is able to send it back. Now Pine Creek has it once again. Sent forward for McDonald. McDonald a little behind the back pass. This is intended for Sean Cleary. Cleary has it. He gets double team. He centers it to Steffi. Steffi puts it on goal. Right side. Wow. It deflects in. And it's a 4-1 game. Michael Steffi scores.
Steffi did a great job putting that exactly where Shane Park was not. And Shane Park was even close to the goal post, dove at it, but Steffi gets a nice fortune bounce off the post there. 4-1. Pine Creek, the first Eagle goal not scored by Aaron Hafner.
3 goals from Hafner, 1 from Steffi. I thought it was Steffi who scored the first Hafner goal, so between the two, they're doing pretty good.
They certainly are.
So 4-1, 17:23 left, and this has got to be completely demoralizing for Rampart right now. Because I get the feeling they came in thinking that they really had a chance to knock off this Pine Creek team. Not that they can't come back, but down 4-1 against arguably the best goalie in Southern Colorado is going to be tough.
Well, and we were even talking about it. You don't expect a 4-goal outburst from Pine Creek. You expect them to shut a team out and maybe win 1 or 2-0. And then they come out and they score 4 goals in the first 23 minutes of the game. Now you're back on your heels big time.
Clock continues to run at 16:50. And the goalkeeper for Rampart, Park, will send it back in. It comes out towards midfield. $16:25 to go in this first half, and it's a 4-1 game. Pine Creek has it. You really see the wind
When
get the ball right
yep.
there, yeah.
gets up in the air, you see it turn. Both teams doing a good job of keeping it down.
And that's how the wind can affect the way you play, especially if you're somebody that, if you're a team that gambles a lot and tries to, clear it down the field and try to outspeed somebody. Here's another chance
Hafner.
on the right side. Hafner, and he puts it off the goalie Park, and it deflects away, and now Hafner's down.
Shane Park has got to be happy that didn't go in. Guy's already got a hat trick, and he comes storming in on you there. What a great job by Park to get up there and make sure it didn't go in this time. Hafner's up and around now, though. He looks okay. Corner kick.
He's sent in. The kick put right in front of the goal, and Rampart was there to deflect it away. It's still in front of the goal. Rampart's trying to clear it all the way out, and they do. It's going to come back out to Pine Creek Sam Stark. Stark moves it forward on the right side. Here's Alex Cullen with it. Cullen loses it, and Rampart's got it. They'll move it ahead. We'll see if they can get it into their offensive zone. They'll back it up and try to set things up. Goes back over to Reed Bartles. Now he moves it ahead left side, but there's Pine Creek again and Cullen to steal it. And it's going to go out of bounds. Last touch, Steffi, and it'll be sent in by Rampart's Reed Bartles. 14:44 to go.
Pine Creek looks like they're going to get a few more players into the game here.
For Rampart, they just sent Matt Brewster in. Pine Creek got a few folks in as well.
Looks like we've got Ethan Slater and Dylan Greco getting ready to come in for the Eagles.
– 4-1 is our score. Just found out about some roster changes that are not reflected in the roster that we have. So it's a 4-1 game.
Here we go. Oh, wholesale changes for Pine Creek now. Jack Reynolds comes back in. As I mentioned, Slater, Greco. And we've also got Nico Farley coming back in the game.
Seems to be a 4-1 contest. Clock is rolling at 13.5 minutes left in the first half. This is sent ahead for Pine Creek's Ethan Slater. Could not be handled, and it comes back out of bounds.
Here comes a corner kick for Mr. Reynolds.
And the wind has knocked down 3 of the 4 flags on the corners of the field. Having a hard time keeping those things up.
Sure, that's the wind, not the flag elf.
The flag elf?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a flag elf.
Jeez. Thought you knew about that.
Put into play right in front. That's a great corner
That
kick.
was.
And it comes back out to the top, but now a infraction. They're going to give it back over to Rampart.
Maybe too many guys in there.
That was a great attempt from the corner.
Perfect job. Maybe Rob Parrish can verify if the flag elf's down there, knocking the flag elf. He's down there by the one flag.
He is right by the flag. He just gave us a thumbs up, so I assume that means yes for the flag elf.
Speaking of Rob Parrish, I hear it's Mike and Patty Parrish's anniversary.
Is it?
That's his parents.
Yes.
Yep. Happy anniversary to the Parrishes today.
And they are big fans of watching these on 20 TV to watch his fine camera work, sometimes his fine directing, depending on what position he might be in on
He's
any
a
given
jack of all
broadcast.
trades,
He
that
is.
Rob Parrish.
4-1 in favor of Pine Creek. Now sent forward, left side for Slater. Slater has to go get it. Now he's going to center it, but Rampart's right there to kick it away, and it's going to go out of bounds.
So Slater will have to throw it in now.
And he does so back on the left side as gets it over to his
nice job.
teammate Cleary, but it's going to be stolen away by Rampart by Matt Pfister, but it comes back out of bounds. And now Pine Creek very quickly puts it back into play. Intended left side, Reynolds. He tried to avoid one defender, but that was Eddie Ackery who was able to come in and make the play.
Reynolds was trying to pull that back and just couldn't get enough of a grip on the ball to bring it back. And here comes another corner kick for Reynolds. He had a beaut last time. Let's see what he does with this one. He should probably fix the flag, but he knows the elf will just knock it down.
Foot down, and this time not as good.
Not as good at
You
all.
try to keep it right on that end line, keep it as close to the goal as possible, but that time it was just too close.
When he saw the flag, now maybe he knows the elf's here, and he's a little worried. I'm just saying.
You and the elf.
Yep.
4-1 our score. Park will put it back into play for Rampart. Pine Creek's able to deflect it away. They keep it in their zone. Is the elf texting you now?
Oh, no, actually, another shout-out to Aaron Hafner. His mom, Judy, apparently orders plenty of DVDs.
Very cool.
From 20 TV. I'm assuming she will order some of this game.
This is the one to order.
Yeah.
If you only could do one. 3 goals today for Hafner.
This is the one that he's going to want when he's 40 years old, telling his kids how good he is.
That's what I did every game. I scored 3 goals every game.
I can prove it to you. I only have one DVD, though. It's this game against Rampart.
This is Reynolds. He's going to push it ahead, left side for Slater, but it's going to go out of bounds.
Time winding down. We are in the last quarter of the first half.
Well done. Less than 10 minutes left. The scary thing is I knew exactly what you were going to say when you started to talk. We're working together too long now, I guess.
Ooh, you didn't know I was going to talk about the elf.
I had no clue about the elf. You caught me off guard on the flag elf. 9.5 minutes to go in this first half. I don't know how I recover from that.
Here we go.
Rampart's
Rich.
got it. Yeah, you know what? You want to coach being a good teammate, but at some point, do you just give it to Rich and say, do your thing?
You kind of have to. It's kind of what they did when they got the first goal. I don't know. It's tough. Rich is a very talented player, but the Rampart really has to concentrate on just getting the ball in the offensive zone and worry about it from there.
They still play. Pine Creek does with it in their offensive zone. And Rampart will, like right there, have it for a moment and then give it right back. And Pine Creek is being very patient with things. Sent forward for Reynolds. He's got a little bit of room. He's going to pass it left side. Great idea, but his teammate Taylor Carroll wasn't quite ready for it.
Jack Reynolds is just nifty with his feet.
I don't know how he got that pass off. Here's Reynolds again on the left side. He's going to pass it left side to Slater. Slater, defender comes up. Reynolds gets it back. Reynolds will try to get around defender. We'll see what kind of pass he gets. He's so good with his feet. Now he scoots it back over to Slater. Slater moves it ahead for Reynolds. Reynolds not a whole lot of room. Gets pushed down from behind. No whistle. And Rampart has it back.
Nice move by Pfister to get the ball ahead here. Let's see if Rampart can
try to move it forward, and it's pushed out of bounds as Pine Creek's Sean Cleary comes in, and Rampart will have to send it in from the sideline. 7 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Comes in off the head of a Pine Creek player. Pine Creek controls once again at midfield. Pushed ahead, pushed back. Pine Creek's very aggressive. When they see that ball is out there for anybody to take it on those 50-50 kind of balls, Pine Creek seemingly gets it every single time.
Good disciplined team.
They'll work the right side, will the Eagles. Now sent forward for Reynolds. Did not get it as it's deflected towards the goalie. Park will put it back into play. For Rampart, we're going to see Nick Smith come in just a while. For Pine Creek, it'll be Michael Steffi coming back in. The two individuals are standing right next to each other, actually having a bit of a conversation as play continues on. Under 7 minutes to go.
Probably talking about the flag elf.
Sent back to midfield. Now sent forward. From the left side, Slater went forward. Slater's got it, and now a whistle.
Call him on that Rampart ball.
Oh. Good effort by Slater to get down there. Ball's kicked in. Now Reynolds has it. Reynolds moves it ahead. From the right side, it's pushed back out to Greco. Greco had it for a moment, loses it. Rampart gets it. Pine Creek able to get it right back as they continue to work out of their offensive zone. Just under 6 minutes left in the first half. Another collision and a pass on the left side, but nobody broke for the ball as the ball comes loose. And, we just saw the goalie, Park, almost slip on that on the area behind the goal.
The asphalt back there is tough on cleats.
We have seen in both football and soccer a lot of slipping on that area.
You want to stay off asphalt if you're in cleats. Word to the wise.
Do you speak from experience?
No.
Oh, okay. 5 minutes, 20 seconds left in this first half.
I rarely speak from experience.
4-1. Pine Creek is continuing to lead. We are at District 20 Stadium.
Oh, good D. Cleary.
Reynolds tries to get it away from Rampart's Connor Ott. Rampart had it for a moment, and now it's kicked back towards midfield, and Pine Creek looks to advance towards Steffi. Steffi has it, loses it, gets it back, and now Bartle sends it back towards midfield, but Pine Creek still controls. If from a time of possession kind of statistic, Pine Creek, it's got to be in the 3-1, 4-1 area.
Well, especially once they got ahead, Rampart's pushing so hard just to get it into their offensive zone that it's hard to really control the ball.
Sent ahead. This is Reynolds. Reynolds tries to move past the defender, but cannot control the ball afterwards, and it comes back out. Over the left side for Pine Creek, this is Sean Cleary. Cleary moves it over to Reynolds. Back over, and actually they're going to go over left side to Slater. Slater cannot hold on. It's sent down to the field, and for Rampart, they've got it, and this is Brandon Rich. We'll see what Rich can do with it. Rich still has it in this. Now he's going to finally push it ahead to Connor Ott, but he put too much on it, and it goes out of bounds.
But I tell you, how exciting is it to watch Rich when he gets the ball? I mean, he had the ball well before midfield, and we saw him dribble it all the way up, within 30 yards of the goal before he did anything with it.
3.5 minutes to go in this first half. Meyer will put his foot into it. Drops down right at midfield. And Rampart's going to look to control, but Pine Creek comes up with it, pushes it forward. On the left side, this is Slater. Slater's going to try to get around one defender, but coming in for Rampart, that is Eddie Ackery, who is able to push it out of bounds. Less than 3 minutes to go. At this point, Rampart probably just wants to get to the locker room.
Warm up a little bit. Maybe strategize about how to get the ball back into your offensive zone.
Steffi has it. Steffi tries to push it forward, gets it back. Now it comes out to Reynolds. Reynolds back to midfield. This is Jay Morales with it. Morales goes over to the right side. Push forward. Back to Morales at midfield. Less than 2.5 minutes to go. They'll reverse it back to the left side, and this is Cleary with it. Cleary moves it ahead, gets it right back, but it goes past him, so he has to come back for it. And back to the top and back to Jay Morales once again. Morales almost acting as a point guard back there. Long pass comes in. Now it's kicked back out. Rampart maybe an opportunity to move it ahead into their offensive zone.
Just Brendan Rich is getting a little rest right now for Rampart. He's on the bench.
Sent on the left side to Slater. Slater's going to center it, and a goal. The goal for Pine Creek from Ethan Slater. No, excuse me. It's Hafner again. Are you kidding me? I should have known that.
Well, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Slater with the cross pass here, and Hafner having the game of his life. He almost can't believe it. Look at the look on his face after he scores this goal here, and a great job by Rob Parrish down there to get that Gives a nice kiss to his mom, Judy, in the stands. And fourth goal of the half.
That's incredible.
4 goals and a half. For someone who came in with, what, 2, correct?
1.
1 goal on the year. Unbelievable.
In 14 games, he scored 1 goal. In 1 half, he has scored 4 goals. And it's 5-1.
It's just his day, I guess. Here comes Rampart.
See if they can answer it before this half comes to an end. Ball's pushed over on the right side to Pfister. Pfister has it on the end line, and now he's pushed down, and it's going to give it back to Rampart. That's one of the first times we've seen a whistle blown in one of these kind of situations.
There's a free kick here, and Ott's going to take it. Connor Ott.
So they will set things up. Less than a minute to go in the half. Free kick. Virtually a corner, well, better than a corner kick from where it was coming in on the end line, but deflected away, and Pine Creek's got it. This is Reynolds bringing the ball down the left sideline. Reynolds pushes it ahead. Rampart touches it, moves it back now. Pine Creek gets it back. That's Michael Steffi who puts it forward for Hafner, and Hafner's being mugged.
Wow.
He still has the ball, and he's going to he's finally going to push it back out after being pushed down. How in the world did the whistle not blow during that sequence?
That was unbelievable.
This is Reynolds. Reynolds is going to try to create some space. He puts it on goal, and the wind catches it. It goes wide right due to the wind, and that's how this first half is probably going to end up coming to an end. Hafner wanted another goal.
Yes. I'll tell you what, if he gets anywhere close and I'm Aaron Hafner, I'd be shooting it too. That's halftime.
5-1 is our score.
Wow.
It is halftime. 4 goals scored by Aaron Hafner. An incredible performance by him. And we'll go over all the numbers during halftime. We've got that coming up next here on 20 TV. 5-1 our score at halftime. Pine Creek leads Rampart, and as we look at our first half highlights, we're going to see a lot of Aaron Hafner. First off, right there, you see Hafner come in from the right side and get the goal. Hafner's all over the place there. He puts it off his head or his shoulder, whatever it might be.
Rampart did get back in the game here. Brendan Rich makes a nice move by David Meyer, a guy who's not scored on very often, got scored on today, but it's been Hafner most of the day.
And here he is again, and he puts it in from the right side for his third goal of the day. The fourth goal was somebody not named Hafner. That's Michael Steffi, who just gets it off the right goalpost, but not to be outdone by one of his teammates. Hafner says, before all is said and done, I want to score one more goal. The pass from the right side, and he just knocks it on in. And Aaron Hafner, coming in with 1 goal on the year, has 4 goals today. And
we can apologize?
Yes.
To Judy Hafner and all the Hafner family, because we were saying Hafner for the balance of the first half there. And someone yelled Hafner at us.
We did. We had it right.
But as a person who always has his name mispronounced, I'd like to apologize for mispronouncing his name for the first half. We'll get it right the second half if he scores 4 goals again. Be pretty amazing. But Aaron Hafner, the game of his life right now.
Thank you, Brendan. 5-1 is our score. Again, if you'd like to order a DVD copy of this broadcast today, you can do so emailing us at 20tv@asd20.org, or you can call or give us a call 719-234-1780. Just $10 gets you a copy of this, and Bryn Germeau will indeed bring the DVD to your house. That's how you say your name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. We've got second half action coming up next here on 20 TV. Back at District 20 Stadium, Matt Pauley, Brian German. We are just a few moments away from second half action. 5-1, Pine Creek leads. Going to be interesting, Brian, to see what Rampart does differently here in the second, down by 4 goals.
Yes, it'll be very interesting to see if they can maybe get the ball to Rich a little bit more. But concentrate on keeping possession of the ball, and you never know what can happen.
We are underway, the two teams shifting the directions in which they're going towards. And for Pine Creek, they immediately have the ball first in their offensive zone, but they lose it off the end line. So Rampart in their Goalie Park will send it down.
Sorry. Just, I was trying to get a good look outside.
5-1 our score. You know, when you make a mistake like that, you're not supposed to
I know.
admit it.
Don't call attention to the
Yes.
fact that you banged your mic on the window. It's okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Here we go. Brendan Rich.
This is Rich, and now he's going to give it off
Wow.
to his teammate Creepo, and Pine Creek's got it.
Pine Creek can pretty much while away the entire half if they'd like. Just take their time.
They're not gonna do what Palmer did to them earlier in the year.
No.
They're just gonna be much more patient, and they'll sit with it back in this kind of area and just watch what Rampart is doing defensively, especially here in the early going of the half. In case Rampart's going to change anything up, you want to be able to kind of evaluate things as the ball is deflected away. Rampart's got it. Quick pass.
Free.
And
Yeah,
Rich has it. And Rich tries to pass it away. And, you know, at this point, I think if Rich is within 30 yards of the goal, just go.
Yep.
Just go. But I'm up here and the coaches are down there for a very good reason.
It's tough to score in soccer as one person. You have to be a team.
Pine Creek's got it. They'll move it down the field on the left side. Now pass deflected away, but Reynolds had it for a moment. Pine Creek gets it again. Rampart's maybe not being quite as aggressive as I expected them to be coming out here in the second half.
Well, it's tough just because of the way Pine Creek plays defense. And they possess the ball. They take their time and just do such a good job just keeping possession of the ball that it's hard to get anything going.
Pine Creek works it to the middle, pushed forward. And now Rampart is going to deflect it back down. Pine Creek gets it back. That's Zach Peterschmidt who had his foot on it. Now pushed way ahead. Intended for Alex Cullen, but deflected away by Reed Bartles. For Rampart, this is Creepo have it. He pushes it to the left side. Now it's brought to midfield. Rampart has a little bit of extra urgency at this moment as we'll see if they can turn that into a sustained offensive attack.
And we should mention Logan Thomas in goal for the second half here for Pine Creek. David Meyer getting a rest now on the bench, and we have seen him. We saw him against Liberty get in, play a little offense as well.
He is listed as both a goalkeeper and a forward. He wears number 23 when he is on the field. So Logan Thomas getting some work, and you never know when you have to go to a backup goalkeeper. So good, especially late in the season, to be able to use some folks. Is on the right side for Pine Creek, moving towards the goal, but the ball is going to go out of bounds. It was
corner.
Ryan Depney, and I would think it'd be a corner going off the inline. Nope. They're going to say last touch Pine Creek, and they're going to give it to the goalie. When you look at the schedules for the two teams, for Rampart, they have one more game left in the regular season. They will host Durango, and let's see, on Friday of this week. And I would think maybe that is some sort of makeup game from earlier in the season, whatever it might be, if there was some sort of cancellation. Ball pushed forward.
For Pine Creek, their next game should be a playoff.
Yeah, this is it for the regular season for Pine Creek, and they're looking to finish with a regular season record of 12-1-2, having not lost since a 1-0 setback at Denver East on August 30th.
Which means a very high probability, almost certain, that they will play a playoff game right here, I believe next Thursday, and we're going to have that for you here on 20 TV, which of course you can watch at fox21.com/games.
Close.
Oh, fox21news.com/games.
I was going to correct you, but I allowed our illustrious director, producer, everything, Corey Morlock, to
Mr. Man, Corey Morlock,
to come on into the ears. And
he lets us know when we make mistakes, doesn't he?
Well, he lets you know.
Yeah.
5-1 our score. Pine Creek is continuing to lead. You'll be doing that game without me. I'll miss you.
Unfortunately.
Yep.
Unfortunately for us, but not for you. You're getting married. It'll be a honeymoon kind of time for you.
Yes, it will be. We are just about 5 minutes into the second half. It remains a 5-1 game.
Oh, Corey Morlock just corrected Matt Pauley because it was more than 5 minutes.
More than 5 and just about 5 are about the same thing.
Well, depends on how good you are at math.
Which we've established.
Yes.
Not my strong suit. But I do know it's a 5-1 game.
Can't believe no one fixed the flags at halftime.
One is still up.
Well, that's what the flag elf does. He leaves one up all the time. You need to research this. Google it.
Flag elf?
Yeah. Okay. Corner flag elf.
Oh. We've come off the rails. Rampart's going to send it in off the sideline. They try to work that right sideline. It's deflected away. And Pine Creek's going to get possession of it in their own offensive zone. Put on goal. Deflected away. Reynolds had a chance for it. This is Steffi. Steffi backs it up to Cullen. Cullen works over to the left side. Passes forward. Wind is really starting to pick up. They work the left side, just trying to get around the corner. And almost saved out of bounds. Yeah, even though it was pushed back out of bounds, I believe that was Evan Birchie down there who saved it by not allowing it to go off the end. Oh, never mind. He saved it after I thought.
Yeah, Alex Cullen will get a corner kick.
Everything I was about to say?
Disregard.
Yes.
Disregard, Mr. Polly.
It's just a good way to go about life. Corner kick comes in right in front, off the head, and it's in from the right side. What a great job. The corner, it goes over everybody.
Nico Farley.
Just standing there on the right side is Nico Farley, and he puts it off the head.
Nice job by Alex Cullen sending it over. And Nico Farley way on the opposite side of the goal. Heads it back in the other direction. Just a great job by both of those players right there. 6-1 Pine Creek. You know, I sing in those football games.
Yes.
I could have sang in the first half of this one.
6-1 is our score.
Pine Creek, obviously the class of the Colorado Springs Metro League 5A.
Yes. And once they get into postseason, it's going to be very interesting to see what they're able to do.
Yep.
As here they come again from the right side, and Ryan Depney and takes a tumble down there.
Tough time with Kyle Creepo. Did a good job on defense there. He's pretty happy with himself. Did the little Superman move, showing off to his teammates. He did. I'm just telling you.
I
He did
believe
the whole
you.
Look at the S on my chest kind of thing.
32 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Now less than 32 minutes and 15 seconds. And the ball will be kicked into play.
You've learned something today.
Ball pushed forward. Comes over to the right side.
Look out. There's Hafner.
Yeah, Pine Creek's got it again. Hafner's going to back it up. And for one of the first times today, Pine Creek wasn't as aggressive on a ball as they've been most of the time, and that resulted in Rampart. They were the more aggressive one, and they were able to get the ball, and they're on their offensive half of the field. Now let's see if they can get towards the goal. Nope, stolen away by Pine Creek, and they're going to move it back into their offensive zone. This is Reynolds. Reynolds passes it over to the left side. Hafner had it for a moment, comes back towards midfield. Matt Ernst is able to push it forward. "31 minutes and 5 seconds to go. It's 6-1 in favor of Pine Creek. Goalkeeper Park puts it back into play, but Pine Creek's got it again as they've just been living on this side of the field this entire game. A header goes over to the right side. The idea was to get it over to Reynolds. Could not do it. Now here's Cullen. Cullen's got it moving towards the goal. It's deflected back out towards Sam Stark. Stark tries to keep it in bounds, unable to do so, and then we'll move back in the other direction.
This will be a chance for Rampart to set something up here. But like I said, just try and maybe keep possession of the ball, but Pine Creek hawks the ball so much and so easily. They gain possession back so quickly.
Reynolds has it at midfield, moving from right to left. Now he's going to push it forward.
I'm wondering, is there an all-time record for goals in a game by a Pine Creek player, and does Aaron Hafner not have it? They seem to be trying to get him the ball. Here he comes.
On the left side, and now centering pass for Steffi is deflected away. I mean, Pine Creek it's not an old school.
Nope.
So, and 4-goal games are not common.
4-goal halves.
Yeah.
Are incredibly not common. Alex Cullen with the corner kick. Did a great job last time. I'll bet they guard Nico Farley a little bit better this time, but he's a tall player. Pine Creek now stacking 3 players at the corner here of the box, and now they're running. Interesting play this time.
Yeah, they come on the short side instead, trying to set something up, and unable to do it as Rampart has it. A little bit of a collision, and now here come the Rams. It's a 2-on-2 foot race here for a moment. We'll see if it continues on. Pushed ahead over to the left side. Good
Ott,
speed
good
as
job.
here. This is Ott, and now Ott's going to pass off. He gets it back. Centering pass, but was they offsides?
Offsides.
Oh, they finally had something going for him.
They did. I was impressed by the speed of Connor Ott. He kind of found an extra gear there to get to that ball. And I was worried a little bit for Logan Thomas in goal.
For Logan Thomas, speaking of the Pine Creek goalie who's now in, this is the 4th game he's appeared in this year. He has allowed 1 goal, has made 12 saves. 6-1 our score. Thomas is a junior, so you would think with Meyer being a senior, pretty good chance this is Thomas's job next
Probably
year.
why he's in there right now. Oh, here we go.
Steffi
Steffi
puts it on goal, and he scores. Michael Steffi gets his 2nd goal of the day.
2nd goal of the day, his 7th goal of the season, which ties Nick Bannister for the lead on the team. He also has 3 assists on the year, and Michael Steffi, 2 goals on the day, 7-1 Pine Creek.
Steffi and Hafner have been incredible today.
They really have.
They've been involved in just about everything.
You thought Steffi scored that first goal.
Yeah, he was right there. But he could have.
You're right.
Either one of them could have easily scored that first goal. It could easily be 3-3 right now.
Comes Brendan Rich.
See if Rich, what he tries to do. He's looking to pass. He's going to back it up. We'll see if they got to get it back to Rich, but Cullen is able to steal it away, and this is Reynolds, and here comes Reynolds with the great footwork, bringing the ball down the field. Going to pass it over to the left side for Hafner. Hafner's got it. He's going to pass it back to the top.
You notice Pine Creek playing different positions, I believe, here in the second half. Hafner was on the right flank the first half. And
trying some other things as this is McDonald from the right side. McDonald centers it. Actually comes back up to the top. We have not seen Nick Bannister, and they've got the jackets on the sideline, so I can't even be sure if he is down there. But Hope Bannister got hurt in the first half, and it looked like it was a leg issue, and we just hope that he is ready to go come postseason time a week from Thursday. This is Reynolds right in front of the goal. Reynolds gets tripped, and the whistle finally comes in.
Nope, they're giving it to Rams.
Oh, my gosh. And
Reynolds can't believe it.
Yeah, Reynolds is coming up just looking at that official. These officials have not blown their whistles very much today. They've been consistent in that.
They have. Here's Hafner.
Again, working the left side. And you mentioned, Brian, some of the position changes recently and how that might open something up. Sometimes you just try something as a coach and it works so well you realize we can go with this. And that's another reason in a game like this to maybe try a few different things.
Which is what happened with Ben Corley, put Aaron Hafner in against Air Academy. I believe it was the first game he tried him up front. He's usually a great just defensive player. And boy, he's just a scoring machine now.
Reynolds had it stolen away. We don't say that very often. No. Back to the middle. And Sean Cleary with it. Cleary loses it. They push it forward. Over to Kyle Creepo. They back it up. Rampart just trying to find a way to get into their offensive zone. Instead, this time it's going to be Jack Reynolds stealing it. Reynolds pushes it forward. And it'll be saved inbounds just barely.
Nice job by Travis Free there. Except he gives it right back to the Eagles.
Reynolds had it for a moment. Now Steffi with it. Steffi Kicks it back over to Cullen. Cullen backs up, gets it over to the right side, and Sam Stark. Stark
Nice
gives
give
it,
and
gets
go.
it back. He's got to put a shot on goal. He does, and a save is made by Park. A nice save by the sophomore goalkeeper, Shane Park.
Was a nice save by Park, and you see the good give and go here from McDonald. Back, and a nice diving save by Park. Good job there.
Still a 7-1 contest.
But
25 minutes left.
Aaron Hafner with 4 goals, Steffi with 2, and of course the 7th goal.
Still trying to get this ball back in play. Pine Creek has it. They'll back it up. Over the left side. Backs up to Reynolds. Reynolds with it. Passes around. Backs it up. This is Cullen. Cullen moves it ahead for Hafner. Hafner, excuse me. Hafner had it, but he loses it and gets brought back down the field.
Nick Farley had the other goal on the header off the beautiful corner kick from Alex Cullen. Farley now tied with Steffi and Bannister with 7 goals on the season.
.10 to go. 6-goal lead for Pine Creek at 7-1. It's been a good day for them and a great way to end the regular season. With a 5A Metro League championship, a win against a crosstown team, but even closer than that, just a few miles separating the two schools, and be able to wait a week and a half or so, 9 days till their next action. Pushed ahead to Brad McDonald. McDonald has it on the right side. He's trying to get around the defender. He does so. Now he's got a little bit of room. It gets deflected away. He's going to put it on goal. No, it's going to be a pass for Steffi. And Steffi was just a split second late for it.
Steffi would have had a hat trick as well.
They still got it in play, though.
Hafner.
Left side,
nice
and
save.
a save, but it's deflected back out. Pine Creek is on a little bit of a run right here. Rampart's just got to clear it out.
Well, they would have had, Steffi would have had the hat trick, a beautiful crossing pass there, but Steffi just a little bit slow on the ball.
23 minutes to go now, and wholesale changes here in just a moment for Pine Creek as Jay Morales, Marshall Lammers, Dylan Greco, and Ethan Slater will all be coming in. For Rampart, we'll see James Farmer come in just a moment, in addition to Samir Rezgai. And here indeed are all these substitutions. And also Taylor Carroll comes in. So 5 new players come in for Pine Creek.
Unfortunately, Aaron Hafner is going to have to sit down. So he'll sit down with his 4 goals on the day. Michael Steffi coming out. He's got 2.
You know,
just a great job by Pine Creek today, though.
Pine Creek was already one of the top teams in the state.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a great goalie in Meyer, but finding Hafner's ability to score goals, that might be the X factor as they move into the postseason.
Could be.
They're
It'd
still
be fun
attacking.
to see, and that's what you like. You gotta love to see about Ben Corley, and just the great job he's done coaching these Eagles. He's coached them so well defensively, and now to come along with an offensive gem like that, if that really helps them in the stretch, it'll be interesting to see their playoff game next week.
That was Alex Cullen, by the way, with that last shot for Pine Creek, and Eagles continue to have it. And, if they can continue to play their strong defense, but just have some, a prolific type goal scorer, they could march right on to the state championship.
Love to see it. Love to see District 20 teams do well in the playoffs.
And District 20 teams have represented well over the last few years when it comes to state championships and state championship appearances. Just over 21 minutes left. It is a 7-1 game. We'll see if Rampart maybe can get a few goals here before all is said and done. But even when you've got some of the backups in for Pine Creek, you can tell just – we talked about the discipline earlier as Pine Creek will push the ball down the field and they kick it over to the left side. Now a pass intended on the left side for Marshall Lammers. Lammers is going to send it back out, and it's fought for. It's going to be brought back out. Even when you've got the guys in right now who maybe don't play as much, you can still see how locked in they are defensively. Pass on the right side intended for McDonald. McDonald's played a lot today. Can't keep it in bounds. And, that's obviously the base of what Ben Corley coaches with this team.
Yeah, worry about the defensive side. And, the really good teams that win championships that go on, do great things in the playoffs, they're good defensively. And I think that's probably what Ben Corley's thinking about. They do a great job defensively. Of course, they gave up a goal today, which is not normal for Pine Creek.
Park will put his foot into it. He gets about 20 yards less than Meyer when they do that. So, you can just see, but Park being a sophomore, this is a young Rampart team for the most part that is going to continue to improve. And how good is it going to be when you've got a guy like Park who has played every minute of his sophomore year, and he's going to come back as a junior next year? It's going to be a lot of optimism for this program just because of that. But you can see the difference between a sophomore goalkeeper and someone who's a little bit older, like we've seen from the two Pine Creek keepers.
Brendan Rich will be back next year, too. Of course, he's got 18 goals now in the season. He got his 18th here today, and that's just amazing for a high school soccer player to get that many goals, and he's just a junior.
McDonald had it for a second. Now they move it ahead. Push ahead to Luke Parker. Parker had it. Now they're going to work it over to the left side, and this is Brandon Rich again. Rich passes to the right side, deflected away.
Trying to work something in there with Connor Ott and Matt Pfister getting upfield.
Sent down towards Parker again, but it's going to be deflected away. Right there to defend is Reed Bartles. Bartles had it for a moment, and now it goes out of bounds, and there's a question on who it's going to go with and whether or not a player is going to stay down for Pine Creek. A couple substitutions as well.
Reed Bartles playing pretty well. I know they've given up 7 goals, but some of the Rampart players have just been playing tough defense today. Luke Parker, Reed Bartles.
Ball is sent in, deflected away, and Pine Creek is going to have it for a moment. Connor Ott defends as it comes back out to the top, now left side. This is Slater with it. Centering pass intended for Cullen. Cullen had it, gets deflected back out. Pass, and right there to get it is Samir Rezgai, and that's going to move it back as Rampart will get it once again.
See if the Rams can move the ball back into the offensive end of the field.
17 minutes, 15 seconds to go. It's a 7-1 contest in favor of Pine Creek.
Pine Creek just swarms to the ball.
Pushed ahead, but that's going to be deflected away and pushed back. James Farmer is there to defend. Now it's Connor Ott again. And you're right, Connor Ott's been everywhere. Now for the right side, a shot and a goal.
Alex Cullen, I believe, got that.
Cullen the goal. He almost got one from far out earlier. He's got a leg on him. So Cullen
we saw him with a nice corner kick earlier, and here he is in the middle of the field. I'm not sure the goalkeeper knew that was coming.
No.
Shane Park wasn't really ready for that one. 8-1 Pine Creek.
So now 4 goals from Hafner, 2 from Steffi and 1 from both Cullen and Farley.
That's Cullen's 4th goal of the season.
Rich has the 1 goal of the day for Rampart.
But, you know, if you're Ben Corley, you're hoping you're not using too many of these goals now. You may want to save some of these for next week in a playoff game.
Check and see. This may be their season high in goals. We will go over this number.
Oh, here we go, Rich. Rich coming towards the goal. Oh.
Puts a little bit too much loft on it. The previous high for goals this season for Pine Creek was a 5-0 victory against Doherty.
Wow.
They scored 4 in a 4-0 win against Fountain Fork Austin, also 5 against Liberty. That was a 5-1 win. But 8 goals is well above their season high for goals scored.
Yeah, that would be 3 goals higher than previous high.
Thanks, Brian.
Yep. Well, I'm just helping you out there.
Appreciate it. Need all the help I can get. This is Cullen with it. Cullen pushes it forward. Now back to the right side. Moving it ahead. Alex Barden. We've been told that the last time Pine Creek scored this many goals was October 6th of 2009.
Wow.
And they have never scored 9 goals in the history of the program.
Not that that's something you really try and do, but chance here to tie their all-time high in goals in a game. That's over 4 years ago. Over 4 years ago.
Yeah. So
for a new set, they could set a new record.
They've tied the record
9.
as the corner kick comes in, and it's pushed back out by Rampart, and the ball's going to go all the way out of bounds. So they've tied the record, a number that they haven't touched in a good long time, since 2009. So you're talking 4 years. And
some of these other players getting in the game now. Dylan Vasquez in there, Alex Barton. See, oh, look here. Oh, just over the crossbar. They almost had their 9th goal there. That was Taylor Carroll inside there with a header. Here it comes again. Oh, he was right there.
Right there. Just need to.
If he just headed down instead of up, that would have been goal number 9.
That's easier said than done, though.
Pine Creek's setting a lot of records this year. Of course, every time they get a shutout, it's a new record. 11 shutouts this season. I think the previous record was like 7.
It's incredible, and they've played 14 games coming in today, so 11 of their 14 games have been shutouts. We'll tell you, they gave up a goal at Lincoln. They gave up a goal at Liberty.
And here.
And here tonight. Whew. And at Denver East to start the season.
Yes.
So those are the 3 goals that they gave up. And they had 1-0-0. They've had 2 0-0 ties.
Yes.
Once against Cherry Creek, and then once against Palmer just a couple weeks ago.
Looks like they're getting ready for a powder puff football game after this. Rampart High School, maybe?
Are we going to stick around and broadcast that too?
Unfortunately, Corey Morlock did not put that on the schedule.
Okay. Wasn't sure. 12 and a half minutes to go. Pushed ahead, intended for Pine Creek's Alex Barden, and it was a little bit out of his reach, and it goes out of bounds. We get many of our statistics from a web service entitled Max Preps, and they do some independent rankings of teams, and I think these are more based off statistics than anything else. It's not a locally based sort of thing, but they have Pine Creek ranked as the 6th best 5A school in the state of Colorado.
I'm sure they would like to argue that, and they'll get their chance in the playoffs. That's what playoffs are for.
From a national perspective, they have Pine Creek ranked 51st, which is pretty darn good.
Look out. Here comes
Push
Rich.
Forward. This is Rich, and it's just out of his reach, and there's to pick it up and get it away is Thomas.
It bounced off his chest just a little too hard for him, and he's one of the faster players I've seen this season. Just couldn't keep up with that ball. It's hurting him over there too.
11 minutes, 20 seconds to go. We are at District 20 Stadium. For Rampart, we will see Eddie Ackery come in. The next possible opportunity. We'll also see Alex Cullen come back in. A little bit surprised that maybe Alex Cullen is coming in. We'll see who he is replacing. So Cullen back in. Cullen had just scored a goal a little while ago.
Nico Farley out. Nico's getting a blow.
He gets a nice round of applause from the Pine Creek faithful that are braving the chilly temperatures.
Ben Corley's nice and bundled up on the sideline there.
That's how I would look if I was down there. Ball goes over the net. I'm not afraid to wear whatever I need to wear to stay warm.
Matt Parka-Pauly.
10:20 to go. It's an 8-1 game. And for Pine Creek, really, the most important thing right now is stay healthy. You've got this win. You've got the league title. Just stay healthy and get some younger guys playing here.
You got to hope Nick Bannister can come back from that ankle injury suffered in the first half.
Cullen has it at midfield. Passes it over to the left side, gets it back. He's being defended by Mario Mandel. Comes back out to Steffi. Steffi can't quite hold on, but he gets it back. Now he's going to push it forward for Alex Barton, but he can't keep it in bounds. And it's going to be sent back in as Rampart gets it to Samir Rezgai. Rezgai has it, gives it back over to Eddie Ackery. Ackery sends it in to Creepo. Now centered. Cullen has it. Cullen pushes it forward, or pushes it back, really. And Pine Creek will control once again. Slater moves it up the right sideline. Now push towards the goal. And that was pushed away by the goaltender, Park.
Marshall Lammers was in a race there with Park, and Park won the race. Lammers was looking for that goal number 9.
For Rampart, Mario Mandel had it, sends it forward. Back out to Morales and comes to the goaltender, Logan Thomas, and Thomas just passes it forward. 8.5 minutes to go. Here comes Pine Creek. Once again, nobody's stepping up to defend. Now push forward and just a little bit too much off the foot of Marshall Lammers.
Lammers trying to work something with Cullen there, give and go, and just too much on it for Lammers. Let's see what Rampart can do here in the last 8 minutes. I think a goal would mean a lot to them.
I would agree with that. Ball sent down. Pine Creek heads it back in. Now this is Lammers. Lammers has it deflected away. Pine Creek still has it in the offensive zone. Carroll with it, being defended by Farmer. They work it back to Cullen. And on the left side, it's going to go back out of bounds, and Eddie Ackery is going to be over there to put it back in.
It's Kevin Benitez to throw in.
Benitez, a senior. Seven minutes and 15 seconds to go.
Comes Rich sending it forward. Maybe Rampart can get something going here.
We will see. Kicked ahead. Foot race, and it's going to be won by Pine Creek.
That's the way you get the ball deep in the end, though. Nick Smith was putting pressure on, and Ethan had to just kick it out of bounds there. Now Rampart, let's see if they can do something with this possession.
Creepo has it. Creepo gives it over to Ackery, and Ackery's kick is deflected out of bounds. Ackery will put it back in. Gets it over to Farmer. Farmer has it left side, pushes it forward. Creepo had it, but Pine Creek's able to get it.
Here we go.
Rampart's got it back. They'll set things up. This is Creepo. Looked like he was going to pass to Farmer. Instead, he comes left side to Ackery. Ackery has to save it in bounds, and he's unable to do so.
That's just tough for Rampart there. Looked like they had something going.
6 minutes and 15 seconds to go. It's an 8-1 contest. For Rampart, backed up to Aaron Skites. Skites over to Mario Mandel. Now they push it forward to midfield. They'll back it up. Pine Creek has it again. Pine Creek is just absolutely everywhere. It's almost like they're playing with 2 or 3 extra guys sometimes.
Yeah, it's tough. Cody Roth was trying to move the ball ahead there for the Rams, and the Eagles are just all around him.
5 minutes, 45 seconds left. The pairings as Steffi has it over there, and he's trying to keep possession of it, and he's going to push it down towards the goal, and Thomas is going to come out. I believe the pairings will be out next Monday for the state tournament.
Yep.
Pine Creek will certainly be part of it and will be hosting it, and they'll find out who they'll be hosting, and we'll have that game next Thursday right here on 20 TV.
It's exciting. Michael Steffi's parents probably want a copy of this game too.
You can purchase a copy of this by emailing us at 20tv@asd20.org or by calling us at 719-234-1780. Do you have that number memorized yet, Brian?
234-1780.
Yes. Now,
Yep.
if I ask you in 3 minutes, will you still have it?
234-1780.
You're just going to repeat that? Am I going solo for the final 4 minutes and 30 seconds so you can...
234-1780.
We're just planting it inside people's heads. 234-1780.
Here we go. Let's see if Brendan Rich can do something with the ball.
Rich had it. He passes it to the right side. Now we'll see if they work it back towards Rich. They're not. Instead, it's sent down towards Nick Smith. And Smith unable to win the foot race. And Pine Creek will get it back.
Ethan Slater working down there, just kicking it out of bounds.
I beg your pardon. Rampart keeps it. But this time it does go out of bounds. And it's going to stay with Rampart again.
Stay Rampart.
That was Rich.
They'll get it to Rich here. Oh, nope. Rethrow in. Further back.
Rich,
free kick.
Oh, this is an opportunity. They'll set it up. Rich wears the neon yellow shoes while many of his teammates wear the neon green shoes. Puts his foot into it. Right in front of the goal. It's headed away by Pine Creek. And the Eagles will try to possess the ball. They do. And they push it forward.
Michael Steffi just did a great job there.
And now a big opportunity. This is Marshall Lammers coming on the left side. Puts it on goal. He misses left side. Now here's Steffi. Steffi puts it on goal, and it can't go either. A couple saves as Pine Creek tries to get a record-setting 9th goal.
What a job here as it comes off the post. Michael Steffi puts it there, but how about Kevin Benitez standing in there for Park and kicking that ball right back out. A good defensive play by Benitez there to stop that 9th goal from going in.
That was an incredible turn of events, and that was a great opportunity. There's, again, anybody involved in that play, if you'd like a copy of this broadcast today, there's all the information, 20tv@asd20.org or
719-234-1780.
Says Brian German.
Kevin Benitez's family, you probably want to get that. Send that into the college scouts. Show him that he can play defense even though he's, he can play goalie with his feet.
Thomas makes the save, pushes it forward. 2 minutes, 15 seconds left. It's an 8-1 game. Pine Creek has tied their school record for most goals in a game today. Last done October 6th of 2009. This is Reynolds, passes over to the right side, and Alex Barton. Barton back to Reynolds. Reynolds is going to try to get around a defender. He splits the double team.
Look out.
Going towards the goal. He gets tripped up, and that ball gets kicked back. And again, he's looking around going, how in the world is there not a whistle?
I think the fact that it's 8-1 might have something to do with it.
I would agree with that. Comes back out. That's Morales, who couldn't quite handle, but Pine Creek still with it. And it's almost punted down towards the goal.
Marshall Lammers again.
Lammers has it. Lammers is a senior forward.
Benitez playing some good defense over there for the Rams.
Minute 15 to go. And all of a sudden, Pine Creek, they may know about this record.
Yeah.
Because they're playing like they want another goal.
Yep.
And Reynolds again gets pushed. And
Evan Birchie's playing some tough, hard-nosed defense over there. Haven't called Evan Birchie's name a lot today.
No.
He's the second leading scorer for this Ram team.
50 seconds left. Passing it over to the right side. Rampart gets it. They're going to try to clear, but Pine Creek keeps it in the offensive zone. Now a shot on goal, and Park is there. Rampart still has it. Less than 30 seconds left. They are pushing it as hard as they can. This is Reynolds. Reynolds around one defender and loses it. It's going to go out the end line, and that's going to all but end this one.
It's going to be Rampart ball. Shane Park will take his time putting this into play probably.
8 seconds to go. We'll see if he really even gets the kickoff. He does over on the right side. 3, 2, 1. 8-1, our final score. Pine Creek gets the win over Rampart, and with this win, they pick up the 5A Colorado Springs Metro League title. A huge win tonight for Pine Creek. Talk about a way to streak into the postseason.
Yeah, you always felt good if you're Pine Creek defensively. Now you've got an offense to brag about as you head into the playoffs next week.
The two teams will shake hands, and we will step aside for just a moment. We'll come back. We'll finish up, we'll wrap things up, and look forward to what Pine Creek has coming for them next as we continue in just a moment right here on 20 TV. Eight to 1, our final score today as Pine Creek gets the win over Rampart. Here's the goals from the second half. Maybe the prettiest goal on the corner kick. There is Farley right there to put the goal
Farley.
In. Yeah.
That was something else. And then Michael Steffi, second goal of the game, just lifting it over Park's head there. And then Cullen, long shot. Nice job by Pine Creek. And like we said, storming into the playoffs with 8 goals in their final game.
Your goal scorers tonight, excuse me as my headphones try to come off once again. Aaron Hafner was the most impressive. 4 goals all in the first half. Michael Steffi had 2 goals, one in the first half, one in the second half. And then Alex Cullen and Nico Farley, each with a goal as well. And other than not getting a shutout, because a goal for Brendan Rich for Rampart, other than not getting the shutout, Pine Creek could not have asked for this game to go any better.
No, I bet they're slightly disappointed they didn't get the shutout, though. But I told you, coming in, Brendan Rich, quick, dynamic player. He got down there and maybe was a little faster than even Pine Creek was ready for at the beginning there and got the goal. But 8-1, a resounding victory for the Eagles.
One final time, if folks would like to order a DVD copy of this broadcast tonight, you can do so by emailing us, 20tv@asd20.org, or by giving us a call at 719-234-1780. Final score tonight, 8-1. Pine Creek gets the win over Rampart. We'll talk to you again very, very soon. For Brian German and our entire 20 TV crew, I'm Matt Bawley saying good night from District 20 TV, from District 20 Stadium on District 20 TV.